if you want to fast but you don't know what to look out for, how to do it, I have been doing intermittent fasting for about 2 years now. I completed multi-day fasts. My longest fast was almost 8 days, and I'm just gonna info dump you with as much knowledge as I can remember right now. First and foremost, fasting is a lifestyle. If you want to fast, you need to take a close look at the habits that you are doing and the diet that you have. If you want to fast, your best friends are going to be fruits, vegetables, meats, organs, dairy, especially raw dairy if you can, if you have access to it. And if you haven't never fasted before, figure out how long the break is between each meal, and then just add 2 hours to that. Let's say you have one meal at 1 p.m. and then you have your last meal of the day around 7 p.m. Try to extend that last meal 1 hour later. The reason why you want to do this, and especially when you are getting started with intermittent fasting, is that you slowly want to increase the time that you have spent fasting. This is important because your body needs to start to learn how to use fat as an energy source instead of carbs. And another reason why that is important is because fasting can be quite stressful for your body, and your body needs to learn how to manage that stress. And it basically needs to walk, or it needs to find a new way how to deal with the food that you give your body in the best way. When you start your fast, before you actually then go into the process of not eating, start with fruits. Berries are great, mangoes are great. You want to eat fruits that are hydrating. Cucumber is amazing, especially watermelon is beautiful for just something that you eat before fasting, or a meal that you have when you break your fast. Cucumber is amazing, kiwi is amazing, dairy is amazing, especially kefir and milk, especially when it's raw, because it will fill you with so many nutrients. Your second meal should be something that is focused on proteins. So what I like to do is, when I start my fast, I usually have like a structure for the meals that I eat. The first one that I eat, or more drink, is kefir with raw honey and cinnamon. The cinnamon will basically just help with regulating blood sugar, and it slows down the glucose absorption, which will prevent the sugar crash that you might get. Then I'm gonna wait a little bit, because you want your digestive system to wake up. It is like slowly waking up in the morning, and let's view your stomach as you just sleeping how you would normally sleep, and someone would come up and shake you awake. It is something that would put you in a state of shock and stress, and the same goes for your digestive system, and you want to prevent that. So my second meal usually then is a bowl of Greek yogurt, so that I can get more probiotics, and I also usually load that with a ton of fruits. I try to get as many fruits in there as possible. Usually I go with blueberries, raspberries, mango, a banana, kiwi, and also some raw honey, sometimes dark chocolate, and I also usually add collagen and creatine. The last meal that you eat should be really heavy, on proteins and fats, because your body needs to take it takes a lot of time to really digest fats. So my last meal, which I have been eating every time when I do long fasts, is a huge amount of ground beef. I usually go for 400 grams. Then I also have eggs, usually 5 or 6, and 1 or 2 avocados. I also add some raw cheese to it. And this will keep you full for a really long time, because your body just takes forever till it's done with digestion. The second thing, time your fasts around your sleep, because when I do intermittent fasting, usually between 18 and 21 hours, I have my last meal of the day around 8:30, 7 p.m. and then I'm going to sleep at around 10, 11 till 4:30 or 5 a.m. in the morning, and before I actually get moving again. You want to spend a huge chunk of your fast sleeping, because it will make everything easier, because your body is then actually resting, has the chance to fully concentrate everything on the process of fasting, the switch then from carbs to fats as an energy source, and really actually starting the process of repairing the things that are damaged in your body. What else? Fasting isn't just abstaining from food. Like I said in the beginning, fasting is something that happens, that is also spiritual, that is physically, and that is emotionally. What you can achieve through fasting, which I have achieved, for example, is that fasting can break and liberate you from emotional and physical traumas that your body holds onto. It is not the nicest experience. It can be really hard, it just sucks. But afterwards, you are gonna be feeling a lot better, and you are not gonna regret it. What else? There are a few foods that you want to avoid. Avoid grains, avoid stuff like rice, potatoes, bread, pasta. I personally can't handle pasta anymore, especially in large amounts. It just will basically nuke your entire gut. And when you eat carbs, especially stuff like pasta, you are gonna have a sugar craving, and it is not the best way to break your fast with, especially like these carb sources like potatoes, rice, pasta, bread. When it comes to breaking your fast, you basically are gonna do the same thing that you did when you before you started your fast, but you're gonna eat smaller portions. Your body is still sleeping, which means it needs to wake up slowly and get used to actually handling food, because during the time that you didn't eat anything, your body was basically scanning itself and figuring out what resources, what things have I stored up within myself that I can use as an energy source. And one of the best ways, if not the best way, to break your fast is with bone broth. It is basically the most lightest, gentlest type of food that you can give your body after a fast. From there, you should move on to foods that are really hydrating. Again, watermelon, cucumber, kiwi, mango, kefir, raw milk, And it is also important that when you break your fast, you have short breaks between these meals. So as an example, I just completed a 3-day fast. I'm gonna break my fast with some bone broth if I have it, or a small bowl, like a handful, only a handful of watermelon. Then I'm gonna wait at least 2 or 3 hours before I'm gonna introduce my next meal, which then can be 2 boiled eggs and half an avocado. Then I'm gonna wait again, and then I can maybe have a glass of raw milk with some honey, or a piece of raw cheese that I can dip in honey, which is something that I like to do. Your main focus should be on 2 things. First one, sleep as much as you can. Second of all, if you are awake, keep yourself busy no matter what. Exercise, not that hard, because your body is in a state of stress. So take your training a bit lighter, go on walks, do some stretching, maybe do some body weight exercises, and choose a intention. There is a framework that I already shared in a video that I uploaded a couple weeks ago, where my friend gave me a framework on how to approach a fast. And important is that you are going to pick a intention that you have. The reason why you want to do that is because since you can't rely on food as something that gives you strength, you need to give your mind something that it can hold on to, that keeps it going. Whether that's you fast because you want to deepen your relationship with God and show that you are willing to just grow with Him through the process of fasting, or because you want to lose weight, whatever it is. Pick an intention and hold on to it. If you have any questions at all, feel just free to comment your question or send me a DM directly, and I'm just gonna try to help you as much as I can. I don't think that I'm gonna be able to fully give you everything that I know within this video, but if there's anything that you are concerned about, feel free to just comment or DM me. Something else that I also found helpful is that when you fast, make sure that you have no food at all in your house, in your apartment, or general just access to. When I prepare for a fast, before even making the meals, I usually make sure that in the days before this phase of preparation comes, I empty that I eat every kind of food that I have left in the fridge, whether that's the little bit of meat, the last couple eggs, and I make sure that when all of these when I'm gonna prepare my fast, I'm gonna go to the supermarket, just to buy everything that I need for the fast, and that only the ingredients that I need for my meals are then in the fridge. And when I start then my fast, the goal then again is that I have consumed all of the ingredients that I bought. So that you basically you make the fridge empty, then you fill it again with the food that you bought, and then you empty it again. When you fast, add some sea salt to your water, because it will help you with mineralization, because your body is simply gonna be drained of minerals, since it's not gonna receive any nutrients. Something else that you can also drink, which I personally wouldn't recommend, is coffee. It doesn't have any calories, but it is dehydrating, and even though the caffeine can help you to stay awake, it can also make the fast harder because of the dehydration. The goal that you should have at the beginning is just try out a bunch of stuff and figure out what works for you. There is no such thing as universal fasting rules. We are all humans, that's right, but we all function a little bit different, and we all handle certain foods differently. So maybe raw milk works better for you than for me. So when you are preparing for your fasts, you are gonna focus more on raw milk than I do. The goal is just, this is a principle that I like: throw shit on the wall, figure out what works, and improve from there. Something else that I wished I have done earlier, during my my almost 8-day fast, is drinking herbal tea, which is basically tea with just herbs and spices such as cinnamon, rosemary, fruit teas with orange peel, with some mint in it. It is just something else that you also can drink. It helps you to just not be so bored with just simply salted water, and it is also gonna help you with, it will just support you, because it will just help your body with just going through that fast. I'm not that deep into herbal teas and potions. Some of my friends are, and they just recommended it to me. Something else that you also can, or a way that you can break your fast with, is coconut water. Make sure that it is cold pressed and also organic. It is basically filled with electrolytes. You can also add maybe some lime then to it, some sea salt, so that you just have more electrolytes overall. And it is another way how to break your fast. So recap: fasting is a lifestyle. Preparation and the way you break it is key, because if you don't do it correctly, you're not going to reap all the benefits from fasting. Throw shit on the wall, figure out what works for you, and improve from there. Break your fast gently with foods that are light, such as fruit, bone broth, coconut water, tea with honey. and keep the portions short. Another thing, when you do multi-day fasts, you should reintroduce food over the course of multiple days, and increase the amount of portions as the day goes by. So when I would do a 7-day fast, for example, I would need to take 3 days, maybe even 4 in total, of scheduling out small portions of meals that I eat throughout the day till I get to the point where I can go back to normal eating. When you do shorter fasts, like 48 hours, 24 hours, 72 hours, this then changes a bit. So when you fast for 24 hours, you can, for example, break it with a glass of raw milk and honey, and then afterwards have a solid meal. If you are a woman, there are a few things that you need to take into consideration. You shouldn't fast longer than 7 days. The reason for that is your whole hormone cycle changes weekly, and you simply gonna fuck yourself up if you fast longer than that. If you want a more detailed deep dive into how to fast as a woman, just feel free to let me know. A friend of mine from Poland has completed multiple 7-day fasts, is super experienced in fasting, has a ton of knowledge in regards to hormones as a woman and how you need to be careful with them when you fast. I hope that this was helpful in any way. If you struggle to understand a few things, just feel free to let me know. One last thing, if you are under the age of 18, pregnant, have some health issues or whatever, just talk to a doctor, ask for some advice. It is, I would be careful with fasting. If you are still relatively young, if you struggle maybe with some disease, if you are sick or whatever, because your body shouldn't focus then on fasting, but more on actually healing. If you are sick, if you have any kind of disease, if you are under the age of 18, to just develop yourself, or if you're pregnant, to just take care of the kid. Just be try to ease your way into fasting slowly, figure out what works for you, and do your own research. One last thing that I have, especially for if you are Christian like me, read Isaiah 58. And if you are not a Christian, I would still recommend reading it to you. It will just help you in with your mental approach to fasting. I personally like to read it every day, at least one time, when I do multi-day fasts. It is just helpful to just really redirecting your mind towards the right direction, which is the direction that Jesus is pointing to.